put an offer in today that's our most generous offer in 80 years at the UAW and Ford. Pay increases, elimination of tiers, inflation protection, 5 weeks of vacation, 17 paid holidays, bigger contributions for retirement. So it's a significant enhancement. Still optimistic that we'll get a deal, but there is a limit.
Breaking news tonight, Ford CEO Jim Farley updating where negotiations stand between his company and the United Auto Workers Union. You heard the CEO say it addresses issues that have been big sticking points for the union, but also says that limit is because the company needs to protect its future.
Now, this comes with 2 days to go before the UAW's contract with the Big Three ends. And tonight, we're hearing from one worker who's on pins and needles as the negotiations go on. Good evening, everybody. I'm Rupraj.
And I'm Taryn Asher. The man's worked in the auto industry for nearly 3 decades and admits this approach by the UAW is a new one. Fox News' Dave Kinchin is live for us tonight. Dave.
Yeah, that worker speaking for so many others. You know, we talked about really the union's game plan here. We got the big board back out. You know, we got to do it. So here's the UAW right now. Traditionally, what they would do, they'd focus in on one company, like, say, Stellantis, to do the bargaining, strike a deal, and see where the others fall. But now they've been going for all three at the same time, Ford, GM, and Stellantis. It's a big move, and you got to remember that this new union leadership won the presidency by just 500 votes back during that meeting, the UAW convention back in March. So there's a lot riding on this, and here's a further breakdown of what it all could mean.
Up on the edge of my seat, just like everybody else in the vicinity here.
Matthew Schulte has 28 years in at Ford Motor Company and is eager to see if his union and company executives come up with a deal that avoids a crippling strike. But he admits the UAW taking on all 3 Detroit automakers at once definitely stands out in his experiences.
Different tactic. We'll see if it pays off. Both sides seems like they're inching towards little by little, and there's still a lot of ground to make up. So as much as I like to be an optimistic person, I'm starting to get a little concerned. You know, 2 days to the wire.
UAW President Shawn Fain has broken with the decades-long tradition of focusing in on one target automaker to bargain with ahead of a new deal, and car industry analysts are studying it all.
I would say that their strategy is very much to throw them off their game.
Merrick Masters is a professor of business at Wayne State University. He outlines some of the options facing organized labor in light of the change in bargaining strategy.
They could take a more phased-in strike approach in which they target a few selected sites across the companies and see how much damage that's able to inflict, and if the companies succumb to that kind of pressure. That would be less painful to their strike fund than if they had to send all of them out on strike. If the companies are relatively equal in terms of what they consider to be their ability to pay for what the union is demanding, or at least make a good offer in that direction, and they're reluctant to do so at the negotiating table, then why not treat them equally in the bargaining process? Strike them all and see which one comes forward first.
Whatever happens, the ripple effect would be massive if all 3 automakers saw a sudden work stoppage. Brian Carroll is one of the guys getting new cars to customers. He says supplies have already been low in recent years.
I have customers call me for vehicles, and the way that it would impact my situation is that being the lack of cars, if this does happen, if they do go on strike, because through COVID and also through the computer chip issue, it was hard to get cars for customers, and they need them to go to work and church and wherever else they have to go to.
Just one of many businesses hinging upon all of what happens with the Big Three and the UAW. We did hear late tonight from UAW Local 652 in Lansing that the UAW Solidarity House, the main office, did hold a Zoom with many of the local offices around the country, and that President Fain was updating the situation on contracts with the legal team, and that tomorrow there's going to be an unveiling of a vision called Stand Up Strike. And President Fain will talk more about this publicly, as he has on Facebook Live. There will be a press release to go out after that as well, so we will stay stay on top of it. 2 days to go, and yeah, a lot of people hoping something happens soon to clear all this up. No strike and no crippling of the economy. That's what everyone's worried about tonight. We're live in downtown Detroit. Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.